Hey everyone, I'm David Caraccio,
And I'm Nick Muller.
and we're with the Black Sheep team at.
On real estate.
We're like brothers and brothers.
Right.
Right? We finish each other's sentences. Today we're going to be going over the big question that we get asked all the time, which is
the market crashing?
it crashing? The short answer, well, stick around, you'll find out. The big thing that we're seeing right now is price reductions, and that's the kind of the name of the game. And we want to talk about the reasons why we're seeing such big price reductions. And I don't think the market is crashing. I think it's more stabilizing. And I think buyers are starting to get a little more educated and are not willing to pay that inflated price anymore. They want to pay what's true market value of the home. Just in the last week, we had 105 homes in CNY do a price reduction. And to give you an idea, there are 157 properties got listed this week, and 105 of them have done a price reduction, which is huge. That's big.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick, what are we seeing price reduction wise in the last year and a half?
I mean, maybe 20, 30
in
1 week.
If it's a slow week, right? I mean,
exactly.
Normally it's like closer to single digit, but
Right.
this is huge. Price reduction, 105 homes price reduced. Now that doesn't mean the market is slowing. I mean, we still had for the last 7 days, we had 195 homes sold. So we're still cranking on the sales side. Days on market is still really low, but I think sellers are starting to overstep themselves in terms of what they want to list for. And Nick, what do you think is happening from what you're seeing, especially on the buy side too, of what's happening out there in the market?
Yeah, I mean, I think all sellers have been hearing is for the past year and a half, oh, sell your house. You're going to get so much money for it. Now's the best time. You can throw up pretty much any ballpark number and we're going to get 10 offers. There are going to be so many showings. You should leave your house for the weekend.
Specifically this week, we heard that story.
Yeah, right. So,
yeah.
And now we're kind of back to where we should be. Like you said, it's not a crash. We're just evening back out.
Definitely seen that like even out. And I just recently went on a listing appointment too. And there was other realtors there showing about $40,000 more than what I would recommend for list price. And, I lost the listing, and it might be because of the price point. I think that's really what it was. But, listing agents, I think, are really playing into this as well.
Yeah.
They just want the listings because we're low on inventory.
Yep.
So if you throw a number out them, let's say you say, I want $500,000 for my house, even though comps are only supporting 450 or 440, they're still going out there and listing it because they need those listings. But then obviously they're having that quick conversation. Hopefully they are like, we need to start doing reductions.
Yeah. And what I've been seeing is, like you said, it's quick.
Mm-hmm.
Within a week, they're saying they're already reducing price. It's not sitting for 30 to 60 days plus before they drop that price down.
Yeah, and we're having some major decreases too. I mean, you would think like $1 million home, you're going to have close to 100,000 maybe. $1 million home, we're having almost $200,000 drops. But even at like a 700 house was listed for $799,000, dropped to $599 in one decrease, $200,000. Come on, sellers! Like $200,000 is a pretty significant drop on your house. We talk about what's wrong with that house syndrome. Days in market. I mean, Nick, with buyers, if you're out there showing houses and it's been on the market for a month, 2 months, what is the buyer thinking of when they walk into the house?
It's the first question I get.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this house?
Exactly.
And most of the time, it's nothing. It was just priced incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be my answer most of the time, unless I can find something in the disclosures or something like that to where, okay, maybe it needs a little work. But most of the time, the houses are just fine. It's just the price.
The pricing strategy is huge. And I know, before this pandemic, it used to be I go to the listing appointment. I tell them, okay, this is, let's say $200,000 is the actual appraised or the assessed value appraised value that I'm kind of giving you an average for a CMA. I would recommend going in the 190s, low 190s, mid 190s. What you're trying to do is make it look like it's a good deal, get a lot of buyers in there, and they'll drive the price up. Recently, throw out a number and you're going to get it. It was crazy. The amount of people who are just overpaying for homes. And, you did have a lot of manipulation of the market, happening. People were coming in from, I think, New York City. We're coming from other states, other big cities, moving out. So let's say they're in Syracuse, they're moving to the outskirts now. They want a little more space because of COVID, or moving from apartments. I can't tell you how many clients we have moving from luxury apartments right now still to outside areas like Manlius, Fayetteville, Jamesville, Baldwinsville, trying to get out of the city, feeling so they have a little more space in between for the same price they're paying for rent right now. It's
Or a lot of times a lot less.
Yeah, or even a lot less. So you're having an overinflation of that market. And when you have someone coming from like California or from New York City or somewhere else that has a substantially higher market in terms of average price point for homes, they're going to be coming in here with a little more cash. So now they're saying, okay, it's $200,000. I'm willing to throw $40,000 down cash on top of that too. If it doesn't appraise, they just want the house. So that now the appraisers look at that house for the next door neighbor and they comp it at 240. So it does overinflate the market a little bit. But I don't see this crashing. I think this is actually finally what we've been looking for, what we've been waiting for. And this last week, it dropped like crazy. You're looking at, big price reductions, not a slowdown in the market. I just think buyers are getting smart. They're getting educated. They know they don't want to overpay for the house, but they are paying true market value.
Mm-hmm. No, and I completely agree. And I know we talked about, kind of the unseasonably warm weather. Yes. People are still kind of hanging on to that last bit of summer, whereas usually we see second week of September, we see the listings pick up and we see more buyers and just everyone's out there trying to get into a house in the fall. And that's not what we're seeing. This is not what this is at all.
No, it's that heightened market. So everyone always says, don't sell your home in the winter. There's no inventory for that. Let us know if you're looking to sell your home in the winter or if you want to start that process, because the data shows that homes still sell in the winter. They still sell at the same market price. You're not going to get less money for it. In fact, I actually think it's better because there's less competition.
Absolutely.
So you still have, if people have to buy a house, they're going to buy a home. Right now we have, let me see how many buyers right now we have. We have 26 active buyers that are qualified, ready to go on our team. And we even have a listing right now that is becoming on the market. And we already have 2 or 3 buyers in our own database that's like a prime potential for them to purchase that home too. So the market's not slowing down. And if you're trying to sell the fall, the winter, there's still the buyers that have to buy. There's still people who are ending their lease agreements. There's still people who are moving out of town for companies moved over, or they're moving towards family, whatever the reason being. They're still moving. So really, you're competing against less competition during the winter.
Yeah, absolutely. Common misconception that you have to list in the spring or summer, and that's the only time you can get this done. Not true at all. Like you just mentioned, it's all about how much competition is out there. You list when everyone else does, then your house is going to get compared to everyone else's, and it's going to be a lot tighter.
Yes.
So if they go to your house and your house is priced at a certain point, and then they go to a house that's maybe cheaper, and they go, oh, wow, well, I actually like this one a lot better. They're going to go with that one. They're not going to put in a lowball offer on yours. They're just going to go with the other one. So, and me personally, off the top of my head, I have 3 buyers that I'm currently working with that their lease ends in January, February time. So there's always going to be people that have to move. That's never going to change.
Yeah. And the demand is always going to be there. There's going to be less buyers. There's less buyers, but much less sellers, especially in this market. I'm also a broker in Texas, and in Texas, it's kind of this fake idea.
Winter.
Yeah, fake winter. I mean, we got snow maybe twice when I was living in this last one. Obviously, the freeze really messed a lot of things up, but there's not snow. So people think, I think it's just the old school realtor coming in saying, don't list during the winter, either in the summer or during the winter, because they want to go on vacation. They want to spend time, the realtor wants to spend time with their family, friends, go down to Florida, in upstate New York, central New York. So you see a lot of that, don't list, wait until I get back in February to list. That's when the market really picks up. But in reality, if you look at the data points, you're having less homes sold. So there is, but I think that's because a lot of it is just because the realtors are really pushing that in. I know a lot of people don't want to move during the winter. But to be honest, if you sell your house during the winter, you still have a 60-day, sometimes 90-day closing, which will push you right out of the winter.
Exactly.
So why not get ahead of the schedule, get your it gets you stressed out. Let someone purchase a home, and then you just kind of sit and wait. Data points. Is the market crashing? We're still up year over year. So for Central New York as a whole, we're up 16% year over year. We're at $208,000 average sales price for Central New York. For Manlius and Fayetteville, we're at average sales price of $274,000, which is a 17% year over year increase. And then for Fayetteville, we're up to $251,000, so a little less than the Manlius, but that's up 24%. What other investment can you say I got 25% increase over the year?
If anyone knows, let me know, because
that's a big return. But you're seeing that the price is still going up. I think really what's happening is the sellers, if you're trying to list your home, be realistic. Look at the comps. When your realtor, hopefully it's us, show up with the CMA, we'll show you what the comps are. I personally adjust for square footage, for bathrooms, bedrooms. I go there with a fine-tooth comb and really look at your house almost as if it's an appraiser. I've taken a lot of my appraisal courses over in Texas for my broker's license. It's more of a requirement over there. But over here, I have that background. So I'm going through and really analyzing your property and making sure we get as close as we can to that true appraised value. So that way, when you put it on the market, the right market strategy, pricing strategy. This list whatever you want and we'll get a buyer.
Throw it up there and it's going to stick.
Yeah. And then, Tim, one of our office managers, is a very big advocate. He says everything's about, does he say 6 weeks or 6 months? It's behind.
6 months.
6 months. There's a big difference between six weeks and 6 months, but 6 months behind. So when this market started going crazy, people were thinking, oh, the real estate market isn't doing well. It's crashing because of COVID. You can't sell a house. But in reality, it was popping.
It was booming.
It was, you could throw it on the market and get whatever you want for it. But now I think it's caught up. The consumers on the seller side have realized they can sell their house for whatever they want, or at least that's what the mentality is. But the buyers are also very aware of that too, and they don't want to overpay. Mm-hmm. It's going to take 6 months from now, today, before people realize that we're no longer in that position anymore.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. And then just for months of supply, because this is a big driving factor for us. Right now, we did get into the 2 month mark. If I go month over month, let's see what we look like for our 3 locations. Central New York, we're still at 2.3 months month of supply. That is big. We want to be 5 to 6 months for a stable market. Anything less than that is considered a seller's market. We were in the ones, less than ones.
Yeah.
Pretty much all throughout COVID. It was really until about 2 or 3 months ago, we started seeing more homes hit the market, which means less offers per home, which is a good thing for buyers. It's honestly, it's a healthy thing for the market. We really need to have that 5 to 6 months. So that way we have a well-rounded, even market, inflow, outflow, everything's good. Right now, Central New York, we're sitting at 2.3. For Manlius, we're at 1.7. And for Fayetteville, we're still a little low at 1.1. So we're still trying to play catch up on that. Yeah. Really, that's all I wanted to go over. You're going to start seeing on the news because obviously market crashing is a big headline on newses. But you're going to see that the market is crashing. Look at the data yourself. Take a look at the data. The sales prices are stabilizing month over month. We're still up month over month. We're still up 11%. And as a whole, we're still increasing in sales price, guys. That's for August. We're still increasing on sales price. I think it's just slowing down. Buyers are getting more educated, and the consumer they know what the value of products are now. As we kind of get out of this really hyped up demand. What else? What else do you think?
Yeah, I think everything we've gone over is what it is. You can't throw your house up there and expect everyone to come running in and submitting all these offers. It's price has to be strategic, and like you said, the buyers have now caught up. Yeah, they've now gotten to a point where they're educated. They know what they want, and they have an idea of how much they're willing to pay for it. So, speaking of education, what do we have coming up in the future here? We have our podcast. Oh, podcast. Yes, we have a podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, I'm sorry. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, check out our other platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Facebook's fun because and in this Instagram, you can see kind of what a daily life looks like as a realtor, what we do in the backgrounds. A lot of fun events going on there, photos and things like that. YouTube is our main source for education. I have
years worth of videos put on there now. And then if you're on our podcast, welcome to our episode number 2 podcast. It was kind of an accident.
Episode number 1 was an accident. Yeah.
That was supposed to be a video. Now it's a podcast. But we do, for education, every first Saturday of the month, we have our first time home buyer seminar. And honestly, it's titled that. We're actually looking at changing the title to just a home buyer seminar. And we're actually going to make it more of a workshop as it is anyways. But it is for people who are looking to buy a first home or even a second home in this new market. That's really what it should be, is first time home buyer in this market, like little parentheses.
Yeah, right.
Because it's always changing. So if you didn't buy a home recently, you're going to get a lot of good information, a lot of our market strategies, our days of market strategy, which we're now starting to formulate and get it out to all our clients. I think it's a phenomenal strategy for right now, this current market, what to do. But every first Saturday of the month at 11 o'clock, right here in our Manlius office, that will be the 2nd of October, a couple days before my birthday.
Crazy to think about. We're already in October.
It flew by. But I want to thank you guys for taking some time. Quick video. Just want to get out there. Market's not crashing. It's definitely stabilizing for the better. I think this was just out of control for way too long. And now we're starting to stabilize a little bit. Still a little low on months of supply. We could get a little more.
I think in October, we're going to get better.
You think so?
That's my prediction.
That's his prediction. We'll check on that. But thank you guys for joining us, whatever platform you're on. Please hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on those notifications. Anything else, Nick?
No.
See you guys on the next video.